Well, welcome back to CTE Soup to Nuts. Alright, so what we have in front of us is an object ball broken up into three areas. If you're not familiar with CTE, the object ball is broken up into 15 degrees for, it's an aim line, 30 degrees is the center line, which is called B, and 45 degrees C. On both sides, a little dot, which is the 1/8 marker. The degrees represent the degrees of the angle to the pocket. So when you're utilizing a shot to, let's say, a corner, the cue ball is going to be aiming at one of these aim lines, depending on the angle to the pocket. And following videos will describe how it's done in terms of measuring and getting into a shot like this. CTE, traditional CTE. Utilizes two aim lines. So here we have an object ball, and if you're aiming to the corner, the one line is from the center of the cue ball to the opposite edge of the cut to the pocket. So it's hitting the object ball on the right side, and that's always going to be a fixed line no matter what shot it is. So the center line from the cue ball is always going to be the opposite edge of the direction of the ball to the pocket. On the other side, the line is from the left edge of the cue ball, aiming at one of the aim lines. Now this shot is about a 15% cut, so you could see that it's aiming at the A. So when I come to the table, I'm going to be aiming at the A spot, but I'm aiming it at a half tip offset. That's half tip from the center of the cue ball, aiming at the A line, and then with my backhand moving the cue to the center of the cue ball and then shooting the ball in. And what I call in this video, you'll see some terminology like CCB or LCBE, which is basically left cue ball edge. CCB is center cue ball, and terminology like that. The object is you're always going to come in at a half tip offset. Some may call it a visual sweep or other things. I tend to use it as a sweep. You're basically kind of sweeping in. There is a pivot involved, so you could use a pivot. Now sometimes you could come in with a left or right pivot, but as you may have seen in other videos, the change of pivot may alter the shot, and that's something you really have to go to the table and practice and see if it happens to you. Generally, pivot does matter, so when you're coming into a shot, I tend to come in naturally. In other words, from here I'm going to try to do like a left to right, what they call a sweep. So I'm coming in, again, the minute I come into the shot, I'm aiming right from the half tip offset position to the A, just like that. See the half tip offset position, aiming it at the A, then bringing my stick to Q, my Q-tip to center, and it goes right in. So throughout this video, you'll see shots that I'm lining up accordingly, and I'll give you a little bit more understanding of how this kind of works. So the same shot without the lines. You're going to be aiming for the A. You probably could even use a B in this because it's really kind of a close shot. But let's go with the A. You're aiming at it from the half tip offset. Shots like this, when they're close, you want to use about a 5 to 7 inches bridge hand length. When the shots get a little more extended, you could increase the length and see how that works for you. This is a shot that looks like about a 30 degree angle. I'm going to move the ball a little bit over to the line, so it's parallel to the diamond, and basically same thing. I'm half tip offset to the B, swing it over to the middle of the Q, boom. Here's a graphic on the shot so you can kind of visualize it from this. And this is a shot that's, like I said, it's relatively easy shots, similar to this kind of thing, but this is really just to show how this stuff works. Now I'm pivoting, see I'm pivoting from right to left, and this is how I go about shooting those kind of shots. This is a kind of straight shot. Straight shots, you utilize A or B. I'm aiming for the A, I'm pivoting it over, and getting it in. It's a little bit more angle. This is almost like a 45 degree, it could be a 45-degree shot. So I'm aiming for the C on that object ball, and go this. The graphic shows actually it was a 1/8, so it's a 1/8 shot, which means that I'm utilizing the dot. That shot was very close to the pocket. Probably 45 would still work, but the shot was a steep shot, so you could utilize the 1/8 marker. Now we're back to about a 30-degree angle. Now, if you're off on the A or B, in other words, you're shooting a shot that's a 15-degree angle, and you're utilizing a 45-degree line, you're going to miss. So you really kind of have to understand the angle to the pocket. Now, my style, I'm going to show you what I do in most of these shots. The thinking is that the A, B, and C faces the cue ball. I actually like the ABC facing the pocket, so I turn that around. In this case, I'm doing kind of the same thing. What I do is have the ABC face the pocket, just like I would do for like a ghost ball kind of effect. So if I'm shooting standard ghost ball style, I'm going to aim for the B. I'm still doing the pivot. I'm still coming in, aiming for the B. I'm coming in half tip offset, aiming for the B. But the ball I'm perceiving to be is lined up with the ABC in relationship to the pocket, not to the cue ball. So when you go to the table and try it out, utilize this method. I think it's probably going to be a little bit more beneficial. Same thing here. The object ball, the A, B, and C is in relationship to the pocket, not in relationship to the cue ball. So when I visualize a shot, I'm visualizing those ABCs lining up to the pocket. In other words, you could kind of like put the B right in the middle of that pocket, like it's almost like a ghost ball type of thing, and then go accordingly. Either way, I'm still going to aim for the A in the spot. I'm going to aim for the A, pivot over to the middle of the cue ball, and you're in. Here's a nice shot. This is a 5-ball. Now on the left side, I can hit it like in the left-hand corner, and it looks like it's going to be about a 45-degree angle. So I would aim for the C if I wanted to put it in the left-hand corner. So if it goes to the right-hand corner, it's just the opposite. So I'm going to go for the A. And so here I am lining it up. I'm going to line up aiming at the A from the offset of the cue ball. Offset is basically a half a tip off from center. So when I approach this, I'm going right into half tip offset mode. I'm bringing the cue over to center cue ball. My tip's in center, and I'm just going to hit aim for the A, and boom, it's done. Here's a graphic on that. Here's a shot that's straight up to the corner, very similar to the shot before. Since it's kind of a straight up shot, it looks just like a 30-degree angle, and I'm going to go for the B. So I'm aiming for the B from the half tip offset. Very simple. You could do these all day long and never miss, because it's a kind of an automatic thing. Just aiming for that B straight up. Here's a couple of balls I throw on the table just to show you how CTE can get you out of jams. If I was stuck here and I have really not much choice in this thing, the 5-ball can't go on the side would be easy. So I have to place it in the corner. Now you could use ghost ball, but ghost ball you have to go back and forth and make sure you hit the spot that you left, and so on and so forth. With CTE, you look at the 5-ball, it's not really a very deep cut. It's almost straight up. So it's a B. You aim for the B. Half tip offset, aim for the B, and just shoot right in from the B side. Unfortunately, I didn't get position on the 2, but here's a shot, the graphic shot on that. It's so much easier when you're in a situation where you're really just aiming for the letter and not a point of contact. Very similar kind of shot. 9-ball still giving us trouble there. 12-ball could go up to the side, but let's try the 2-ball. We're going to put it in the corner. go with the right hand corner, so it looks like a little bit more of an angle. Let's go with the A on that one. It's probably like about 45 degrees. Pivot to center, and there you go. 12 was just sitting there, so there's the graphic on that shot, by the way. There's the 12 is sitting there, so let's get it up, aiming for the A, straight up. This is a straight shot to the corner. So what I'm doing is taking it off the object ball, putting in the ABC ball in there, but aiming it, and this, like, again, it's in reference to the pocket line, so I'm just basically, almost like it's a golf ball thing, I'm aiming for the B. And if it's going to the left corner, I would just aim accordingly, aim for the C. There you go. So just want to review on that again, so you really understand. I get a lot of questions on you really how to, where to put the ball and everything as far as the object ball relationship to the pocket. If it's a light cut like this, 15%, just visualize. And if I take those 3 line balls away, that 3 line ball goes, I'm still going to aim for the same spot. There it goes. It's a B. I could go straight in. You could probably use even an A on this. Aim for the B. Go to center. And very simple. In. So the object ball, again, the 3 visual lines that you look at for the A, B, and C stuff. Just aim that ball to the pocket. If you take away the lines in this, you're still going to aim for it as a B, where it would be even if you didn't use CTE and you use ghost ball, it's the same thing. But I'm just still utilizing the pivot and pretty much hitting center ball. But no matter what angle it's at, you're going to still get it in, because you got to make sure that the angle, that the relationship to the angle to the pocket is either 15, 30, or 45. So here's a kick shot review. You see these things on YouTube, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not so good. But just want to review that I could make sure that I could do these things. So here's a typical shot. The cue ball is on the spot, hits the middle diamond on the right side. There's 3 diamonds there. There's the graphic on it. So you just aim. Don't forget, table speed is important. The conditions of the table, and there's a few other factors involved. So you have to make sure the table is hitting where it should be hitting. Now the 8 ball is up 1 diamond, so the chalk is down 1 diamond from the middle diamond. So now you're going to aim for that little diamond there, right above the side pocket, and so we're kind of off on that one. So I'm just going to make a little adjustment here. You got to get the shot line correct, and like I said, table conditions make a big difference on this stuff. But here we go. It's nice to have that bag of tricks in your pool techniques. So if the ball's on that side, you can hit it. So don't forget, it's a closer dot to the side pocket or closer to the 8 ball. Now, if the 8 ball was in a situation where it's by the end, the bottom rail, you do this, and there I go. It's just missed a slight thing, so make a tiny bit of adjustment there. And if it's on the bottom rail or short rail here, boom, nice shot there. So if you're stuck, you need to get a hit. That's good. Sometimes the cue ball is not on the spot, so what do? You have to use parallel shift. So no matter where the cue ball is, you kind of make believe that it's wherever it is, but you're still going to utilize that parallel shift. The cue ball, the chalk up is back in the center diamond. You parallel shift from that center diamond. That's my new aim line. I'm going to hit there, come around, and there you go. Hope it works for you. Anyway, if you like this kind of videos, please subscribe, and if you want to get another one, ring the bell, and I'll see you on the next bunch of videos. But you really got to practice this stuff. It takes a little while to get acclimated to the the A, B, and C stuff. But once you do it, you'll really like it. See you in the next one. Take care.